Welcome to Learning Gym. Today's lesson is on subtraction. What is subtraction? It is taking away things, and it goes by several names, so that when you see any of these words in a question, it means it's asking you to take away or to count up. Some of the words are subtract, minus, take away, deduct, difference, decrease by, how many more or less, left over, reduce, remove, remains, less than and more than. There are a few ways to subtract. You could use the number line. For the question 4 minus 1, you draw a number line at least up to 4 because that's the maximum you know you'll go to, and then we will start taking away. So to represent it, I could put 4 faces, n minus 1, which means that we will have to take 1 away. So when we take 1 face away, you could see that the number of faces, instead of being 4 now, jumps 1 leftwards towards a smaller number, 2, 3, because that is what is left. And so 4 minus 1 is 3. You could also use number bonds to do subtraction. If you need to refresh your memory on number bonds, please click the link below. If you want to use number bonds, you need to know the makeup of a number very well. So if they were to ask what 11 minus 3 is, you'll know immediately that it's 8 because you would know that 8 and 3 makes 11. How to minus numbers beyond 10 in a quicker way? Let's take the equation 15 minus 3. Now what you try to do is to make tens as far as possible. So you could split 15 into 10 and 5. And then using the 5 from 15, 5 minus 3, that will give you 2. And you know that you've got a 10 left. So 10 plus 2, that would be 12. In other words, 15 minus 3 is 12. This is really useful for mental sums. You can also extend this method to higher numbers, for example 48 minus 35, which are very large numbers. Now, the first step that you have to do is to make sure that the last digit for the first number, in this case 48, should be larger than the last digit of the second number. So in this case it should be 8, should be bigger than 5, which it is. So the step 2, we just minus the last digit. So 8 minus 5 is 3. And we remember that. The next thing we need to do is to just minus off the tens position. So in this case it would be 40 minus 30. That will give you 10. And then we just add the 10 plus the 3. That would give us 13. So 48 minus 35 equals to 13. All these methods that I had mentioned are really useful for mental sums, which is so important when you're out and about, buying things or just calculating things in your head. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to do subtraction using the column method. But before we start, you need to know your place values very well, such as ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, million, 10 millions, 100 millions. So make sure you know your place value before you start. Let's take the number 36 minus 12. In the column method, you just write 36, and beneath the 6, which is the ones position, you write the number 2, which is the ones position of number 12. And underneath 3, you write 1, which is the tens position of number 12. So therefore, the first step to learning is to master placing the numbers in the correct position in a column. Here I've provided a selection of equations for you to practice placing them under the correct place value. So just pause the video and try them out. Let's do the fun bit now. Let's take 35 minus 3. The first step is to write 35 and then minus. Next, you put the number 3, which is a ones position, under the number 5 because that's also a ones position. Now that we've got the numbers in the right place value columns, we can just do the subtraction, and we start with the ones position. 5 minus 3 makes 2, and you write 2 in the equal sign. Next, we subtract the next biggest value, which is the tens position. Here is 3 minus nothing, which just gives you 3 because you're not taking away anything. That's the answer. 35 minus 3 is 32. Here's another example. 3535 minus 1230. Step 1, place the numbers under the correct place value. So that's 0 under 5, 3 under 3, 2 under 5, and 1 under 3. Step 2, always subtract from the smallest place value to the largest, that is, from right to left. In this case, it's 5 minus 0. That would make 5. And you write 5 between the equal sign. Step 3, subtract the next biggest value, that is the tens column. In this case, it's 3 minus 3. So you've got 3 items, and you take away 3. That gives you 0. Now we carry on with the hundredths position, which is 5 minus 2. That gives you 3. Finally, for this question, we do the last place value, the thousands place value. 3 minus 1. That gives you 2. And you write it between the equal sign. So that's the final answer. 2305. And that's all there is to it. If you liked my lesson, please give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe. I intend to post more lessons and tutorials on the 11 Plus exam. Please also leave your comments below on what kind of topics you'd like me to do. Bye for now and keep practicing.